have joined us from, and I welcome you all to today's session. Today is a very special session with Mariyakutty Mathew. She's joining us all the way from India, and she's going to talk about an interesting topic. Although we know that one size does not fit all, but yes, she's going to share her success mantra. And the talk of today is all about how to be an effective IB PYP teacher. We all have our own challenges and our own successes. So Maria is going to share her way of becoming an effective IB PYP teacher. A little more about Maria. Maria has come a long way. She's currently a doctorate student with an eminent university from Malaysia. She is an experienced PYP teacher and she wears many hats. So it's good to know about Maria from Maria. So without further ado, let's welcome her. A very warm welcome to you, Maria. And please tell us more about yourself and share your success mantra of how to be an effective IB PYP teacher. Over to you, Maria.
Thank you, Ms. Emma, for that very pleasing welcome to to your YouTube channel. And I'm really happy to be part of your initiative and the way you wanted to embrace and support the educator community, Ms. Hassan. Thank you once again. I'm really honored and humbled to be part of your teaching community. All right, let's begin the presentation. So my presentation is all about how to be an effective IB teacher. That's not only one mantra, but one way to look at it. And also I have embedded the way IB is also expecting or how to look at an IB PYP teacher and how does it help us to evolve together as a PYP teacher, share commonalities and knowledge. Since we are very diverse, we are in different countries, but we facilitate this global curricula. But definitely, these guidelines and some type of information that I am sharing would definitely support each of us to facilitate diverse children from different aspects, different background, different perspectives. And again, statement of my presentation is we are challenged now in today because in the pandemic all the teachers and students and parents are highly efficient with technology as well now that we have learned to teach digitally otherwise and physically. Now the challenge is how are we going to be effective and efficient teacher in tomorrow's classroom, that's 21st century classroom. So that is my way of looking at this presentation today, and also wanted to share my reading and my perspective of preparation for us that we want for tomorrow's classroom to take care of the future students. Going further, this is a little bit about me. As Ms. Asna has mentioned, thank you, Ms. Asna, for that introduction. I'm a doctorate student of education, mastering in curriculum assessment, instruction, and educational technology. Since education is my passion, I try to work in different domains of understanding children, parent, and learner life. Otherwise, also settling, helping children to be inclusive in their difficult situations. Otherwise, I did try to explore many other professional degrees in the field of education and other topics, and mostly focused on education itself from Montessori to bachelor's in education. I've tried to learn more on STEM, and I'm also a space learning expert, and I embrace those moments of teaching with STEM. So these are the new way advancements that teachers have been offered for teachers. It's offered for from the other educational areas. CISO Ambassador as well, which is another amazing app that came up in the recent times. Little bit about me. That's all. Yes, moving forward. The talking points for today under this topic is that first, it is I have segmented that in 5 point series where each series play a part that we need to weave it together to see how effective we can be or in the challenging classrooms tomorrow. So the first talking point is through the eyes of future PYP teacher. How do PYP teachers evolve? The second point series will be teaching and learning in the mission age, effective use of educational technology. The third is developing intercultural competence, its impact in your planning and facilitating in the inquiries. Fourth one is curriculum and planning, how a teacher understands and ensure effective lessons are being planned, and also we are meeting the clear learning objectives. Lastly, which I feel that is really most important for the teacher as researcher, what action we take to build self, others, and a responsibility towards the educational community. Focusing on the first part, future teacher, which is the prime or the heart of my presentation today, is through the eyes of a future teacher. How do PYP teachers evolve in reference? This I curated this with reference from IB, the principles to practice, and also the way I was able to practice IB, and from my prior trainings and listening to many sessions. I define I try to define a PYP teacher in a simple sense, one who are able to challenge her students for the next day to spark their curiosities that will trigger the inquiries, and a person that agentic learners trust and love to express his or her own beliefs and ideas for taking action. Now I'm going to describe a day of a PYP teacher and the roles that we need to take up to evolve. As a leader, it starts with as a leader. I strongly believe, and it is that all the PYP teachers are leaders in the field of education. We are different because we go through a process by taking the inquiries into the classroom. So it starts with the leadership skill, where you are planning and considering a coherent learning experience, meaning we have planned an experience and we have things align with that learning experience in terms of reference, in terms of integrating different subjects, in terms of different resources using technology. So it's more of coherent learning experience. And in every phases of inquiry, it happens in process of collaboration. So children are learning in collaboration together in different ways. Further, to execute this, to do or think this way, every PYP teachers are expected to master the PYP concepts and the approaches. That happens over a period of time, the more you put in your thought and action into it. Where this will definitely help every teacher to help the student to discover the transdisciplinary connection. Transdisciplinary connections is nothing but a child is able to connect all their learning of all their subjects into a concept or an idea, or co-construct an idea, or apply their learning or new learning from the prior knowledge to different aspects of their daily life. So that becomes their areas of responsibility. Why am I learning this? How can I use this? Oh, I can use this way. So then children are becoming more responsible and self-directed learners. The last part of a leader is more of a reflective practitioner. In the same day, after you have your learning experience and you have been having a wonderful journey with your class learners, the same day a teacher, it would be wonderful, and maybe you have to do it, collect the evidences of the particular day, review the portfolios or the inquiry journals, and you must be having your own respective assessment and symbol forms. But technology is a huge support now, where you need to reflect on the phases of inquiries that could be done next day, or anything different that has come up, or any differentiated instructions are required. This is very important process in a day after you take care of your classes. So you are here more of a reflective practitioner and a leader. Now, the second role and the same day is you as a facilitator. Facilitator, so is a good quote. It's quoted in my IB. Sharing a feedback on present learning is to inform what is needed to be support future learning. Yes, so more a PYP teacher is always there to give a feedback to make children think beyond what they can do, or maybe reflect where I need to work more and what can do more. So that's how a teacher has to facilitate and think about the inquiries. So the learners in a PYP classroom becomes more self-directed, and they are directed directly to use their resources to inquire, to work together, to collaborate together for their learning. All we need to do is give guidance to take them further in the inquiry process. In the process itself, maintaining an inquiry journal will definitely help the learner and the teacher to assess. what they learn. Assessment is not about to check or the learning how much they have learned that day, or this has been told over a period of time many a times. But again, understanding assessment is very different. Mostly I use these assessments to understand where my children are, how they have been doing in terms of reading, literacy skills, in terms of unit of inquiry in mathematics. So it's all about, we need to be an assessor, assessing teacher. It's for us to guide and guide the inquiry. Any inquiry can be planned and guided well when you are a regular assessor in your teaching and learning journey. How it helps, you are actually building an assessment capable learner is nothing but you are sitting with your learner, with her learning and with the assessment, and you are telling, you have reached this level, that's fantastic. In the rubric you are here, so why don't you think about this way to complete the criteria of your learning this way. So you and learner are understanding the learning requirements with the objective, rather than just saying you have done a wonderful job, why don't you think a little bit. Instead, spending individual time with the feedback, taking children to feed forward makes a whole lot of difference in a classroom or in a second day. It depends how you plan your inquiry. But the process that you take your learning journey with your learning makes a whole lot of difference. Now, most importantly, to do whatever I've been telling you before, as a learner, yes, we go through collaborations, we go through a lot of mentorings, coordinators and principals will be talking to us, and there will be a curriculum requirement will be given to us. Having said that, even the grade wise teachers will be coordinating with you to plan the learning engagements, for deciding what is has to be given in the right age, right level, and right way of challenges. Beyond that, we need to plan or pursue our own inquiries. How are you going to tailor your teaching in the classroom makes the whole difference. How the progress of your learners will be seen in your classroom. So every PYP teacher should actually tailor their own inquiries once all these processes have gone through. Then that helps us to plan the modification of the learning environment. Or if you, from that process, if you see something really rare or interconnections happening, then you may plan an amazing emerging inquiries which is not even thought about in the planning process. So these evidences and these kind of planning will definitely help you to take you to the next level in the collaboration with your leadership team or the teacher team, to support and tell them that this is where you are and this is how you think, because you have so many reasons and you have the evidences. Every time it's wonderful, after every unit of inquiry, you have an action plan project where you're activating the student agency. In the primary years, I feel teachers, it is like that. More than feeling, I've practiced it. Planning an action project in the class where students are practicing their skills. It, for example, analytical or thinking skills. ATLs are mostly being emphasized every time. But what you cannot teach ATLs, but you can make them think and practice. Or we have to absorb ATLs even in our practices for children to reflect and think. So the action plan that you create can be anything that connected to the unit, or children can reflect on the type of skills focused in the unit of inquiry. Again, that's the first half of learner in you. Second half is for you. Once your day is over in this process, it is wonderful that you collaborate with a professional network, research on innovative ideas, and think about what is significant and relevant for the learners and what is there for them tomorrow. Whatever has been told years past may not be relevant for the upcoming future or upcoming inquiries or whatever they wanted to learn. However, it will be really a good homework that you do for planning your own inquiries. Then administer self PDs. Today's world is really challenging. Any teacher is looked at the type of skills or the multitasking or the levels of subject knowledge they have to take care of a classroom. So it is going to definitely challenge us, but we are blessed with amazing PDs and different organizations have been offering this. So I think most of the teachers are already evolved, but it should be ongoing for every teachers. And lastly, embrace the culture of learning. We are a learner for our learners. So be a continual ongoing learner. PYP teachers are always curious. So we are like another PYP student. We should be always curious. What new ideas and questions will tomorrow bring from our students? That will make us a better PYP teacher. When you go and then when you look back to all the process that I am saying, if you look at your students and then you go back and do this, your classroom will show a difference and an immense difference and an environmental change, above all a fantastic learning outcome. I'll show you the evidence how it works, but this should be an actual day of a PYP teacher. I have given you woven, have shown you woven heart here, so you weave yourself as a leader, as a facilitator, as a learner. That makes you evolve as a PYP teacher, and over a period of time we will be happy PYP teachers, and you know what to do and understand your learners very well. So one of the project last year when I was working with Gems Modern Academy, we were taking care of how the world works, the unit, and we had solar system and beyond as the main idea, where NASA has brought in this project of Mission to Mars 2021. They offered the vast levels of learning experience for the children at all levels, from primary, secondary to the higher levels. The ultimate purpose of NASA was to show the world how important is 21st century schools, how you solve the problems, how you collaborate with the people, how you take ideas, how you ignore ideas, how do you become successful as collaborators and bringing one big project successful. So they have segmented each tiny projects for children to understand the new space lessons, while also how the NASA has reached the mission to Mars successfully. So, and this STEM project I have integrated and embedded into this unit of inquiry, where children was parallelly doing both, and it was too intense. So we have met the criteria of the school curriculum as well as the students' interest in learning the solar system and beyond. So I'm going to play the project. This is a curated video work of the how the world works.
How the world works?
No, the video is not visible.
Miss Asna, are you able to see the video?
No, video is not visible. Mhm.
Just a moment. Screen. Now,
No, it's coming up. Yeah,
it's coming.
yeah, it's there.
How the world works? We inquired to the big idea, solar system. As the new knowledge helped us experiment and construct the 3D models of space systems. We made 3D solar system models and faces of the moon. We became knowledgeable by exploring more about space through NASA Kids website. We are riskers and bravely took the 5-week challenge. NASA mission to Mars 2020 STEM lessons. This is my rover design, that how I want to make my rover. You see that there is these 3 holes. Actually, I tried to make it 3D. There are another 2 holes on this side and that side. There are 5 cameras, and then the one that says F is where the fuel is stored, and then the rectangle is where they check the temperature, and the one that says M is where the rover sends messages to the scientists, and the one with all the little squares is the one that I did for the solar panels. And then the long arm is for arm that's going to go in the ground, and it can get longer and longer so it can go deeper in to check the temperature inside Mars. We created authentic models of spacecraft and was curious to explore new space inventions to Mars. successfully landed in the Jezero crater, and now Perseverance is going to study in the Jezero crater if people can exist in Mars. Thank you. Countdown to Mars! 3, 2, 1. This is my version of a Mars section. Human beings need air, water, food, and shelter to live. I'm going to talk about shelter first because it is connected to all the other essential needs in my project. Mars is home to many caves that are formed from past volcanic eruptions that are in the shape of lava tubes underground. Therefore, they are very spacious. Caves protect you from harsh weathers, asteroids, solar radiation, etc. The wow moment! NASA JPL showcase our learning models. Together we celebrated our space learning by curating and presenting our e-portfolio using Facilitator. We are curious, knowledgeable, and reflective. We celebrated learning about space exploration with NASA JPL. This was a great unit of inquiry.
It's wonderful, amazing. So good to see the process of learning.
Thank you, Ms. Asna.
And you people are appreciating you in the comments as well.
Really?
Well done. Great job done by students.
Thank
And
you
of
so
course
much.
you.
Yes. And I'm very honored and pleased that you are watching this and I could share what I could do during this pandemic and if it was a support to all of you. And I'm very happy. Maybe I'm the most happiest teacher at the moment. Sharing the screen back.
I can relate with you.
Yes.
How happy you are.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, people are appreciating high throat, wonderful. Anita said, excellent. Shalini is writing brilliant. People are falling in love with STEM and STEAM.
yes, you
Great
should.
job. Thank you so much, everyone. She's a happy teacher, proud teacher. Okay.
Yes. Let's get thank you, teacher. So I'm more enthusiastic to take you to the next wave of thinking of being an effective teacher here. Maybe most of you must be resonating now why I brought this topic after watching the video. Teaching and learning in the mission age, effective use of educational technology. This topic is mostly a review of an article written by Zhao Yong, the teacher. So he is a teacher and he is also he authored a wonderful book about use of technology and the correcting top 5 mistakes in the edutech. And I was really influenced by this professor, and this is published in the IBO World Journal. So what he says is, over 100 years, technology has taught us failures and amazing euphorias, wow moments, some disappointments. Sometimes we feel all the kind of feelings teachers get when we have a lot of technologies. Also, that has to be expected to embed in the classroom. But this professor has brought in thought to all the educational institutions and to the teachers. The suggestion is on how schools and teachers can change the way technology is utilized in the classroom. So here the thinking question is, what challenges schools? That is challenging us beyond all that. Every new wave of technology is giving grand hopes of education systems. Maybe it may look like it eases our teaching, eases our job. But however, let's analyze what job should belong to technology, what job should belong to humans. I must say that educational organizations, maybe the leaders, everybody comes up with the expectation and can bring all this to us. However, we can still think what technology should do in our classroom, what you should be doing or I should be doing in my classroom. And I am sure technology cannot replace a teacher. But technology can actually help and support and relax a teacher to practically, I am saying that to develop the skills of what is required for students with a human presence. So, what technology can do, according to the article, is will deliver instruction. It cannot deliver education. Maybe it is precise, perfect content. It can transmit perfect content. Sometimes in the learning teaching journey of a teacher in a whole day, sometimes we end up with vagueness, unfinished ideas. Core concepts and some things can be taken care of by technology, but where we do is we are cultivating a human being. We are taking care of learner profiles. We are taking care of the skills. We are bringing that international mindedness in there, building that. So all together, it's a mixture, or it's like spiral method in the classroom where you blend the technology and the expectations of PYP, which makes that classroom look wonderful. And we need to use technology wisely, but think about what it should be doing in your lesson plans. Moving forward, what challenges teachers is I have seen that as well. When teachers are forced to learn mechanical things, sometimes some teachers have their way of teaching. That's why at the beginning, in some say, pursue your own inquiries, sue your lesson plans. That matters to every teacher. That is the identity of every teacher. Even though we undergo collaboration, sharing views, that's all important to us. However, the way you teach and the time that you spend with your children as a homeroom teacher, it matters a lot. Your space, the contribution, the way you look at your learners, it challenges sometimes. So I've given a thought here. Maybe you can write as we go in a presentation your views. All of us can resonate the challenges during the pandemic. Even though technology was a great wave to support classes, we are still challenged by the technology for the future hybrid classrooms. We are still thinking hybrid classroom, blended class. So many things are coming to us. But it's high time that each teacher has to think, how am I going to proceed, where and what and when, how. That cannot be taught by someone, but if you decide that and discuss and collaborate, then it will make a real sense. Direct planning or direct saying may not help us tomorrow. I'm saying this with confidence because I managed to blend technology and teaching together after going through the process that I've been sharing with you. So here the word balance matters to us. Being balanced, like that, we have to be balanced. Technology, for example, I brought in an example. This is written in the article. I thought let me share the same thing. Can be used for repetitive routines, differentiated instruction, a child who needs more of revision and review over the concepts. And if you want to maintain assessment continuum, have simple Excel sheets or somewhere we need to have. So writing anecdotes is a good idea, but rather I feel if you have your learning objectives set in place with your lesson plans and you keep marking with tiny notes or some kind of indicators, and having a continuum daily helps you much better. Later, that will help you to write a significant, relevant, and more truthful anecdotal records for every children. Teacher in a classroom can spend time with students. You can plan collaborative learning, building skills, discussing their passion, interest, and more personal touch. What new ideas that can come up from the inquiries that's being taught from their experiences. Keep this in mind. The point that I spoke now, which will connect to then for upcoming ideas. So the example here is teach. So suppose we're teaching about photosynthesis. What technology can do is it can directly teach concepts, and teacher can hold a finer class discussion, run experiments in the classroom, widen the topic of discussion. For example, from it can lead to agency, agentic learners think about climate change and evolution linked to photosynthesis. So that is where our role come into. Technology cannot facilitate human touch, a feed forward or a feedback or taking supporting agency, but it can definitely support us with some conceptual understanding or concrete knowledge or some standalone topics that has to be taught to the children. Moving forward, so this is my thought on balancing the use of technology, and I'm sure most of the teacher will have their own perspectives and experiences. However, at least I feel some of you must be convinced about my perspective through this article, where you need to delegate the task for technology and what should be us. So sender is the teacher in the teaching. Teaching and learning is for the student, where you're directing students for student directed classroom. However, make sure that technology should never override your teaching. Technology should not capture or take care of your teaching. That's my opinion on this. But then you can have your own perspectives. Maybe you can also share in the chat. I love to read that. Coming from there, the third part of an effective teacher is, in today's world, I say at the moment in the pandemic situation, we are all digital citizens. We belong to, we have no, if you think like we have no country, no place, nothing, we are all digital citizens. We are sharing the same place, same technology, same pace of listening, and we are from different parts of the world. However, we are adapting to each other with our ways of adapting to people and understanding different people from different countries. So one way, not the best way, I would say, is an intercultural building intercultural competency. This is again another good article that I fetched from International School magazine. I love to read these and I keep collecting those, but I felt these are the things that should be discussed with the teachers at certain point of time before even a new teacher coming into a PYP classroom. These things would help her to settle and adapt to this process altogether sooner than later. Developing intercultural competence, its significance during the facilitation and planning inquiries. So, research has demonstrated that there is a positive impact on student learning when students experience a culturally responsive curriculum and are taught by the teachers who are culturally aware. That means we are taking action to understand various culture, various ideas, perspectives, identities of different students, and taking care of that in a single classroom at a single moment. Sounds complex. It is not complex. It is more convenient for a PYP teacher to bring in multiple perspectives, concepts, facts through conceptual lengths in the classroom. Let's see how it works. It's an ongoing process. A teacher developing intercultural competence is an ongoing process. All you need is an open mindedness for some changes that you can bring into yourself to take care of your learners. If you focus learners as a center to your purpose of coming to the school, then things are much easier and you will fall in love with what you're doing. I'm sure already you are in love with it. Still, I'm saying the challenges can be waived off faster what is coming in up front of us. So, interculture means the term interculture is preferred as some terms such as culturally aware or cross culturally able to apply to anyone who interacts with those from different background, regardless of location. Competence. It's a step beyond international minded, as it describes a person who's not only culturally knowledgeable but who can change their behavior and communication to be culturally befitting. So there are children from different countries in your classroom. There are times if you can take that competence in you to change a slight behavior and communication that can resonate and connect to the children, all children will start connecting to you and to each other. So that journey is going to be wonderful, and how teachers work in an international school with this competence makes a whole difference. So they are responsive of cultural differences. Parents will start connecting to you and others. Expectations of the teachers are met very well. Expectations of the schools are also met very well when you're culturally competent, interculturally competent, because teachers are the front line of the meeting needs of the students, and also executing for culturally responsive curriculum. Culturally responsive curriculum is nothing but we have a global curriculum that facilitates any child coming from various countries, even though host country has their requirements to be met in the school. So it is in teacher's hands how she fits that child into the classroom. More of an inclusion, I should say. Inclusion is not only about send a sense of send. Inclusion is about fitting all the children that is capable of learning, who deserves and the right to learn coming into our classroom. Needs to develop high level of intercultural competence, and I also believe all of us this is what something that I keep doing it most of the days, reading, understanding what different teachers from different countries and culture do and take how they take care of the children. So this is what I have done. One of the interesting literacy plan that I've brought into my classroom, integrating drama, English, and story more in connection to how we express ourselves. And I should must say thank Mr. Ian. He was from Sweden, Switzerland. He was there with me for some time, where he brought in this idea of Alice in Wonderland. He gave us the freedom to do how we wanted to take care of these things, the Alice in Wonderland series in the classroom, and I took the part Pool of Tears. So let's have a look at the the short intercultural connection that I brought into the classroom, where children were exploring what other children in different countries were learning and doing. And Alice in Wonderland is not from India, so children tried to resonate and put themselves in the Alice's shoes and try to bring in her own expressions in this play. So this is like a medium cast show, a curation of their understanding of Pool of Tears. So I'll be sharing the video now. Hold on. Right. Share the screen. Right. So this is also a learning for me, Miss Asna.
Curious and curious. Cool tear. Oh God, I became too big. Now what should I do? Oh no, with my own tears I made a very big pool. Hello everybody, welcome to Alice in Wonderland. I am Chisaka. I'm Anna. How are you going, man? I'm afraid so. But I'll tell you a secret. All the best people are. There is a place like no place on earth. A land full of wonder, mystery, and danger. Some say to survive it, you need to be mad as a hatter. Like me, mad hatter. Imagination is only a weapon. It's a war against reality. I am the red queen. Always speak the truth. Think before you speak and write it down on words. Thank you. I'm late. Hello friends, today I'm going to do the rabbit performance in Alice in the Wonderland. Oh my god, I missed it. I'm late. for a very important day. So guys, we say hello, goodbye. I'm late. Hi all, I'm the white rabbit from Alice and Wonderland. I am the rabbit which to carry to Wonderland. Oh, I shall be too late. Oh no, I am late for a very important date. The hurrier I go, the behind I get. Thank you. One moment. I, the king, have the right to speak. Don't you see, my dear queen, that she is only a child? Maybe she knows how to play karaoke. Life, what is it but a dream? Maybe the pollen of a sunny sky, changing of a season, and the loss of wonder or innocence. I wonder, a boat beneath a sunny sky, leering onward dreamily in an evening of July. Hey, I want to ask you a riddle. What is the hat of it mean? Yes, it's me, the Mad Hatter. I would like to sing a song with a dance. Only the sunny sky, every heart dreaming, in and giving of the land. Children dream of nest even I am living here. Because it was here. Long as in the sunny sky, echoes in a merry time. All of us are saved alive. Upward beneath the sunny sky, every heart was dreaming, in and even of life. In a wonderland they lie, dreaming as the days go by, dreaming as the summer night, ever drifting down the street, living in the golden dream. Life what is but a dream. Above beneath the sunny sky, every heart was dreaming, in and giving of life. Above beneath the sunny sky, every heart was dreaming, in and giving of life. Thanks to our class list coordinator, IB Mathew, for the amazing support and fun experience initiating the class. Truly awesome. Was a great experience for us. We learned to enjoy and read poetry. My friends and I together explored various ways of self-expression our imaginations. Thanks to our class Lit Fest coordinator.
So again,
Yes.
people are appreciating you and your students like anything. Someone said, Shalini is a senior school teacher. She has joined us. She's one of my good friends. And she's saying, is it really PYP? They are doing a wonderful job. Anne said that they are embracing PYP at such a young age. They are risk takers. Anita is again mesmerized completely. So you did a wonderful job and students were brilliant. They were, I could not take my eyes off. It's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
don't know why did I work like that, but maybe the students' interest or without even a single day off, but it made sense. That's what when you enjoy and you have a lot to experiment, it happens. So that's what I wanted to tell teachers. It just happens one day. Yes, going to back to presentation, the last part or most important part of my presentation. Thank you, teachers, for saying that. Yes, the key to us, curriculum and planning, and maybe a big challenge a big challenge for everybody, for every teacher. So I would say maybe even for the leaders, curriculum and planning, its impact in ensuring effective lesson plan and meeting the learning objectives. The most important part before even you think about your program of inquiry, you have your central ideas, line of inquiries, and a lot of ideas booming in the collaboration. Every teacher should take one step back. How intersections of the learner's identity impact the planning of learning and teaching. Knowing your learners is really, really important. Individual identity through teaching and learning. Bringing that fosters um, the international mindedness at the beginning itself in your classroom, by reflecting on their own perspectives, culture, identity, understanding the background, creating a situation to share stories in a single class at a single time in your plan makes children feel they are together, but each one have something in similar. Within that similarities, there are differences in terms of ethnicity, religion, values, personal experiences. Could be a can be a visual representation activity as well, as I can give you an example, making all the learners realize how diverse we are, but still we are together. And also, the learner feels my teacher is able to see me and I have multiple perspectives. My teacher is also there for me to understand my passion, my interest, and also building a relationship with me. This will develop a commonality among them, the international minded among the children, and they feel that we all can collaborate each other and different ideas, and those differences is one way I feel the IB is defining appreciating individual differences, accepting that makes one an international minded person. Teachers, then we can think about creating meaningful learning engagements. I record these kind of interest, passion, and somewhere down the line, and I bring in emphasis of every child in my classroom in somewhere in my teaching and learning throughout my year. So every child feels that it has been taken and considered, sometimes together as well. So moving forward, the outcomes, as I told you now, similarities and differences, celebrating that, building a positive learning community and an intercultural understanding. Like we have variety of things to see. Like you go to a shopping mall, you have so many things. The way we feel, that's how learners may feel when you have so many things in different ways that's happening in your classroom that keeps them very, very live. Learners having a strong sense of cultural identity will lead to have partnership with others for a peaceful. So it's like I am identified and I have a culture and I respect and let me respect somebody else too. So those children grow up as adults and together they make a peaceful world. So I think our action in the classroom is a huge contribution for the peaceful world. This I've taken it from IB itself, a diverse dimensions of learner and learner identities we can think about in that activity that you give in the classroom. Every learner's identity evolves over a time. It may change as and when from their prior knowledge they progress to their learning. Learners needs opportunity to ask questions for that. What makes me who I am? How are people similar and different from me in a positive way? So, our understanding of the learner is the foundation of our approach to learning and teaching. Curriculum design that aims to help learners see and respond to their identities are very as well as the identities of others is one that develops healthy partnerships for learning. Healthy partnerships is very, very important. That's what I told you the last slides, a culturally responsive curriculum. So that's what we are ultimately responsible for bringing that. So a simple example is we had a wish we are doing a flower of you from your stating your different cultural identities in each battles. In the evening, teacher is assessing, okay, his language is French, home language, French passport, African ethnicity, so new student, whatever. So this is a simple assessment that you're already doing in the evening. This can help us to tailor the new inquiries for tomorrow and connect to children more. You already got the information without even telling them what you are doing. This one meter, I'm sure you have amazing ideas already with you. Just thought to bring a simple example how to actually bring that single activity to the classroom and children can present, and later we can assess putting the points down somewhere or within the floor itself. Moving forward, engage with internal and external dimensions of your learner. So when I spoke about identity, this is something that I've additionally all thought about and always the well-being of the child, social, emotional, and you have PSP in the classroom. However, being an HRT, it's always good to foresee that thing is that social, emotional, and physical well-being is always integrated in your lesson plan somewhere in a day at some time or some moment. So that makes the class more collaborative, more of, I would say, high level of self of being for others, and how children learn to accept and adapt to unique personalities, evolving individuals' identity with others' identity, a strong sense of self-worth and agency. So all these kind of dimensions has to work together to building a strong agency for us to have a collaborative learning environment. So it's all about collaboration in today's world. I have been reading a lot on cell inquiries. Mostly it's been recommended also. So 6seconds.org is one where you can have a look at it, where it is also sharing very good documents on how you can plan these literacies into these inquiries into your lesson plan, and mostly focusing on the well-being, social well-being of a child. Yourself, know yourself, choose yourself is the beginning of building an I concept, and then further blending us blending our learning with the inquiry, blending child's learning with the inquiry learning. So there is a connection here. That's where we can support a lot on teaching of SDGs. So one of the example that I've already brought in for you, so try to develop such learning engagements in a week, 1 or 2 times, where you have integrated into your lesson plans. That can also be part of your action plan, maybe towards the end of the inquiry, when you create an action plan or an action project in the classroom for you to facilitate or activate the learner agency and the primary years. This adds more value to it. So I have an example here, maybe the last video that I wanted to show to all of you. This is where we have taken the SDG goal 15, where children and I worked first in the action, and then we took the responsibility to share this idea to the whole school community to create the awareness of SDG goal 15. Sorry, teachers, I have a glitch. Okay. Yeah, got it. Is it audible?
Yes, it is.
Life on land as a part of Don't cut me, I'm a poor tree. If you cut me, I cannot give you oxygen, vegetables or fruits you need. Oh no! Let's see what we can do. Save the planet for me and you. Let's see what we can do. Save the planet for me and you. EARTH. Planet Earth is a happy place. EARTH. Planet Earth is the happy place. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. E is for the environment. Keep it clean. If we stand together, we'll make the best team. We already started to save the world. I call the whole school to join this revolution. Here are the solutions. Restore and degraded land and soil. Protect habitats. And pollution. And trafficking. Thank you. Hey people, I am the soul of the tree that you had cut down. You are a big fool. I prevent from air pollution, water pollution and soil degradation. I fight for climate change. I am the one that controls the temperature. I prevent environmental disasters like flood, landslide. I even give fruits, vegetables and medicines. I am a shelter for all animals and birds. And so without me, life is not possible. And so don't scare other trees like you did to me. Thank you. Take care of plants now. They will take care of you later. I will plant more trees to save my environment. I will take care of plants very well. If someone is cutting trees, I will tell them not to cut trees. We need to grow more plants to keep the environment clean. Hello friends, this is the poster of me watering the plants. The action statement is, it is our duty to save environment's beauty. Thank you. Hi, I'm going to plant brown gram and mustard seeds. So to do that, you first need to dig a hole. See? With a stick. And now you have to put the seed in the hole. And then you need to close it. So let's put some more seeds, some mustard seeds. Make sure that the seeds are in the hole. Now cover the seeds with some soil. I feel free to plant a tree and to get free oxygen. Thank you. You can do to help the environment green are reduce, reuse, recycle, conserve water, plant a tree, use public transport is a way to reduce air pollution. Use LED bulbs, etc. Thank you. Protecting our planet starts with each of us. These are some ways we can protect our planet. Follow the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Plant more trees. Trees provide food and oxygen. Buy less plastics. Use reusable shopping bags. Don't send chemicals to our waterway. Let us together make our planet a beautiful one to live. Thank you, everyone.
If you destroy the earth, where will we live and from where will we get food and water? Plant a tree and help protect the environment. Plants protect us from the air pollution. Hi all, today I'm going to put a sapling in a bowl. Then I'm going to plant a real sapling. This is a small sapling and it's spinach. I'm going to keep it here. Now I'm going to grow a real sapling. Put the seeds in the bowl. Now I'm going to put the soil. Now I'm going to put the soil in front of the seeds. Okay, now let's put some water to grow them. You shouldn't cut trees because trees are so important and trees will give us oxygen. And when we grow trees also we get fruits and vegetables from them. Also saplings and plants we get vegetables. If we cut all of them we'll not get any of these food and we'll get hungry. And you shouldn't also waste water because water is also a natural and important resource for us. When we feel tired, we drink water. Water is a energetical resource. You should recycle plastic waste. If you don't recycle them, it will get a bad effect. When you recycle them, you can do anything with them, like make rectangles and grow plants on it. You can do lots of ideas. Like I did the same idea as I did. This is like me and my grandma did this by recycling the bottles and making small plants on them. And that's a small tree that is going to grow. And every time put water on that tree. Shana, why are you wasting water? I'm sorry, you must close the tap whenever you're not using. Okay, Nanu. Light is on. Switch off the light whenever you're not using it. Don't use plastic bags. Use only cloth bags.
Wonderful presentation, Maria. Amazing.
Thank you, Ms. Asma. Yes, the last part. So, most important part, teacher as a researcher. So we have to be researchers. But only if we take up this action or accept our role as a researcher, we can evolve. So I'm going to go back, like it's like a backward planning now. So we have to be a researcher, take action to build self, others, and educational community. So if we are going to really build this way, and evolve together like this, I think we can make huge differences to the world. We can make see, I could manage only 20, but all the educators together can if we are together, we can manage more than thousands, and it's beyond. I'm sure we will have a peaceful world, a better educational community, a learning community together, maybe wonderful human beings tomorrow. So we are setting a mark in the world, taking and nurturing care, nurturing these students. So I'm going speechless sometimes seeing these videos or seeing my students and sharing this at the moment. So it was very big achievement and a joyful moment for me. There were challenges, definitely. It was not easy to run these projects and actions. However, with evidences, with the way I have explained to you, we could bring in such things to the school, and then I was able to convince many educators within the team. Lastly, teacher inquiring at conceptual level. We say learners inquiring at conceptual level. It's we who have to inquire at conceptual level. At the beginning, we need to understand the world through conceptual lens. We need to understand how the world works, where we are in place and time, how we express ourselves, sharing the planets, whatever it takes. I know there are a few more themes, however. So absorb that. Research about all the related concepts. What is new tomorrow? What has happened before? Connect to the facts, to the key concepts. Keep doing that activity every day, little by little. Develop yourself, build yourself, and share, learn, and execute wonderful learning engagements in your classroom. That makes you an absolute PYP teacher, maybe one of the unique best teacher in tomorrow's world, a promising teacher. You may stay very close to my IB, which I am, do your PDs, use playlists, read the PYP blogs, attend webinars, read books for learners. That's what I say. Read. There is a poverty in reading nowadays because of the digital boom. However, take that step back and read books. Read storybooks, read other books of pedagogies, curriculums, and different articles. That will definitely upskill. Take some micro credentials which are free. Sometimes school management offers, or approach the school to upskill you and your team. That's definitely going to support your growth. That's my last words for you, dear educators. Finally, I wanted to mention, if at all I was able to do to this extent or grow to such extent with and develop my passion, it was my family, my mentors, trainer, and fellow colleagues. And finally, I have to thank Ms. Asna. I've been concentrating to my DED and research, and she sparked me to give up a presentation, and could happily review back my PYP contributions and share with quite a lot of educators. And I'm very humbled, and thank you, Ms. Asna, for this opportunity. And I hope educators, this helped you and you had a fruitful session from my end.
No need to thank me, Maria. It was awesome. It was wonderful, and people could benefit from it. And that is something which is the central idea of this particular channel. It's all about benefiting the educators and helping them to gain better understanding about PYP. So it was wonderful. The way you shared your learning journey and your passion was contagious. It was more contagious than the pandemic. So, and the best part is, the balance in that passion. You were passionate, that was visible, but your students were equally passionate. And that validates, Hattie's research that teachers has the biggest impact, that is 30%, but student also has, 50% impact on their learning. So that was very well validated by your work. So it was totally amazing. We were, so happy. There are people who are from BP, those who have joined us. So she's saying that you have worked beyond her expectation. So a lot of praise for you, dear. And we could see that how hardworking you are and how hardworking the teachers who are there watching this session just to gain an understanding about
Absolutely. Yes.
We must be watching the shows on television. So I'm sitting here conducting, hosting a session. You're there to deliver a session, and there are people, those who are watching us from all around the globe. So we have a wonderful community today who joined us, and they were all amazing. Thank you so much, dear audience. You were wonderful. And before I conclude the session, there are some questions. Would you like to answer? Because
Yes, please.
okay, yeah, okay. So I'll go ahead with the question. So I'll start from toe to toe. It's like I'm just looking at the questions because there are no options to share questions and comments separately. So there is a question related to STEM. How do you introduce STEM to these students? At such young age, how did you introduce such big ideas? So if you can share your insights.
Uh, when we say it's a big idea, for children, it's a huge fascination. From sky to night to stars, it's the way you build it. And you need to be a child there. I started with look at the stars and I wonder where this is coming from and galaxy. Ma'am, I know about galaxy, asteroids. And then I know there's no point in teaching solar system and planets. Then it started from there. There are Milky Ways, multiple Milky Ways. So you would know. You cannot measure the intensity and depth of your children's knowledge. And then the books have come. Then the courage to bring in that STEM NASA has brought in. And I have to thank NASA because they have segmented small activities for primary years and guided teachers well. But we had a lot of homework that you go home, you sit down, learn and reflect, and have to create a lesson plan tomorrow to bring into the classroom. So I have opened up like this. I've planned my lesson in such a way that all of you can attend, but who wants to experiment and execute is your choice. So I've given a voice choice, but I expected all the children to come and attend and share and listen. You wouldn't believe me, all my children were there. Plus other children from other sections who wanted to do it.
Great. So putting the learner on the front seat, on the driving seat, will make it easy for you teachers. So there's a wonderful question from Anita. Can you please guide which inquiry cycle is in the current trend? So would you like to answer this question?
Miss Anita, it's a very valid question, very important question. There are many, many inquiry cycles. We have lot of work in that now. It has challenged us. Even you can make your own inquiry cycle if you have a scientific definition, which I have done sometimes to run the inquiries. Okay, three levels, 2 levels, depends on what you want to teach. But think in-depth. Trevor McKenzie is one that I liked to run space systems because I wanted that level of segments. Kath Murdoch is common. Then Rachel French is given a concept-based curriculum, an inquiry model. So you can integrate your inquiry models. There is no particular inquiry model. Maybe Miss Anita can have an inquiry model and tell that this model worked very well than the other models, ma'am, with inquiry with your evidences. So you need to be innovative. There is some one segment in PYP, innovation and PYP. So keep innovating, teachers. Refer and keep innovating. Derive your definitions. Like I could derive one definition for a PYP teacher. All of you, I think you should start say how I evolved. What's my, that's what I, build your I. You may say it's a we, collaboration, teamwork. Yes, it comes from I. You need something. So I, phrase yourself, define yourself as a PYP teacher with passion. Everybody will listen to you. It's not about you are talking about yourself. It's your passion that should come from you. Then all the eyes will together be a collaboration there, holding hands to it. So all the inquiry cycles.
Yeah, if your eye is strong, we will be more strong. And
More
as
strong.
Maria said that you can devise your own inquiry cycle. I have an experience of devising an inquiry cycle with my specialist because they were very confused with the catalog cycle. So for specialists, it is a challenge everywhere. So when they did their own inquiry cycle, it was, a lot of sense for them. And I also had an experience of devising an inquiry cycle with the students, and that was awesome.
Yes.
That was awesome. That was
That
long
is
back.
also the best way to do it.
Yeah,
If
so-
they can have an inquiry cycle, draw
Yes,
the inquiry cycle.
And they own it, it's not like we are walking them through the process of inquiry. When they make it, they own it. So try doing that. that, decode, deconstruct, and then construct your own inquiry cycle. And we would love to see Miss Anita's inquiry cycle as Maria said. We would love to see
I
you
look forward and I keep
when
researching any teachers have given an inquiry cycle, which I feel more practical. And new PYP planner is amazing. It may look
Yeah, it's
challenging,
amazing.
teachers, but go and put your hands into it. It's giving you a freedom than the
Yeah.
other inquiry cycle, the UI. So just take a walk through on it.
Yeah, in today's meeting, I was discussing it with my teachers that, those 9 boxes planner was just, ticking the check boxes. And the new
Yes.
planner is like a daily journal for the teacher. What you're doing, it's very fluid, very flexible. So you please devise your own inquiry cycle and come
Yes.
over here and share with us. We would love to see that. Okay, the third question, and that's going to be last question. We are quite late. It's 9:46 here p.m. here in Bangladesh, and I think it's 9:15, 16 for you, Maria, right?
I am fine, Miss Asma.
What are the teaching strategies for balancing diverse learning needs? So I
Diverse
think
learning needs. Whenever, that's why we have a globalized central idea and the line of inquiries. If you try to see the actual meaning of central idea and taking your line of inquiry and teaching facts through the conceptual lens, diversity is taken care of there, because you are asking the perspectives, learnings of every child in your classroom. So that is taken care of. Diversity is not only about culture and ethnicity. Diversity is all about you and I having a different understanding and prior knowledge about the same fact in that same conceptual lens. So there is a similarity and differences. So actually you are all doing that, but give more emphasis to that diversity that I'm talking about, in terms of, see, like for example, children sharing prior knowledge from their background. Have a note of it. You will have a good use in time and space. So diversity in a classroom is not in one particular way. When you plan, think in various dimensions. How will I take care of this diverse perspectives and expressions or knowledge of children? And how will you segment that knowledge into different segments of skills and talents? And how do you plan to assess it? Assessment is not a formative or summative, which is regularly heard by the teachers. Assessment is not that. Not only that, yes, assessment is that in its main ways, but I'm saying assessment is altogether is a holistic word. So diversity, taking care of diversity has various strategies. One I showed you, it's the trick in you. Same moment, same time, children are given the opportunity to fill in something of their own. Later, teacher is reflecting back and understanding what is their way. Then the students are made to present. So everybody get to hear 5-minute presentation of different perspectives. So you can build on that.
Great insights. I would just recommend that you go through the work of Carol and Tomlinson.
Yes.
That is a game that will help you a lot when it comes to meeting the diverse needs of the students if you are doing that. And as Maria said, that culturally responsive teaching. It's all about meeting the needs of the learner, right? And apart from that, if I should say, don't teach the curriculum. Stir the head, heart, and soul, and read that book, which is all about stirring the head, heart, and soul by Lynn Erickson. And it's again amazing book. Go ahead and read that. And we are coming soon with a session on differentiated teaching and learning practices. So you will get to know more. Thank you so much, Maria. I just have a small token of appreciation for you. I'll just allow me to share the screen. I'm just sharing that. Can you see the screen? Something is coming up. This happens a lot here.
Yeah.
It's loading, I think.
It's loading, I think.
It's coming up. Okay.
I have your Canva screen here, Miss Asna.
Yeah. It will be on the presentation mode soon. I will stop sharing for a while. Still loading. Not coming up. So there is a certificate for you, which comes as a token of appreciation from the
Thank you so
entire
much.
community. And I really wanted to share with you. I don't know why is it not coming in. It's taking a lot of time. It's there.
It's still.
It's there. It's there. Can you
Yeah,
see
I
it?
saw that now. Thank you so much.
That's good. That's good. Finally, I could present it. I was so adamant to present it.
Yes, PYP
Okay.
teachers are sometimes firm and we have specific characteristics which may not look really nice sometimes, but we have to be. So that's the good thing.
Uh,
I saw mine. Don't worry, Musas.
no, it's actually moving. Yeah, it's there. Can you see it now?
It's coming probably. It's not shared yet.
Okay. I think it's there now. Can you see it? Mario, can you see it?
No.
Oh,
I'm worried about yours.
not yet.
No, maybe you can do what I did: close and open, and it will come.
No, it
The
happens with
StreamYard
me
is
always.
the StreamYard is challenging us today.
Like no, the thing is that I think sharing
Yeah, it's coming.
is an issue here with me. I don't know,
Yeah,
probably because
click
of the
that.
bad
That's
network.
fine.
That's fine. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see the certificate. It's small version, but I know it's my name
It's
there.
now. Can you see it?
It should come.
It's there. I can see
Yeah,
it.
it is there, but
Not the biggest version. Okay, I will be
no
emailing
worries.
it to you soon.
Thank you
So
so
sorry
much.
for it. Okay, so I will be sending it. And for the audience, you were wonderful,
Yes.
awesome. So there is a certificate for you all as a token of appreciation for being with us. And please fill your correct names. If you are writing a wrong name will come because certificates are auto-generated. So do that. And I have shared the link in the chat box. The session is recorded. You will find the session on the YouTube. So if you want to go back, see, moving to and fro during the session is okay. So you can do that. So have a very good evening if it is evening for you, and have a good night. It is good night for us. And good morning if you are starting the day. Thank you so much, everyone. We will see you next week. And thank you so much, Maria. It was an enlightening session. There are no words to express my gratitude. You have benefited the community a lot. And sharing the passion was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Asna and dear educators.